The geopolitical landscape of the Middle East has evolved into a high-stakes arena where the long-standing rivalry between the United States and Israel on one side and the Islamic Republic of Iran on the other creates a perpetual state of strategic friction. Yet within this volatile mix, Pakistan emerges as a uniquely positioned mediator that balances on a razor's edge of diplomacy and survival. While the United States continues to project its power through a vast network of regional bases and its maximum pressure economic campaigns, Israel views Iran's nuclear aspirations and its Ring of Fire proxy network stretching from Hezbollah in Lebanon to the Houthis in Yemen as a direct existential threat that warrants constant covert operations and the threat of preemptive strikes. Amidst this clashing of titans, Pakistan occupies a paradoxical space. It is the only nuclear-armed Muslim nation, sharing a massive 900-kilometer border with Iran while simultaneously maintaining a complex, decades-old security partnership with Washington and a deep-seated reliance on the Sunni monarchies of the Gulf. Because Pakistan cannot afford a total war on its western flank that would likely spill over into its own restive Balochistan province or destabilize its fragile economy, Islamabad has repeatedly stepped into the role of the silent back-channel postman, leveraging its military-to-military ties and diplomatic neutrality to de-escalate tensions when Washington and Tehran are not on speaking terms. This mediation is not born out of mere altruism, but out of a desperate necessity to prevent a regional conflagration that would force Pakistan to choose sides, potentially alienating its primary security provider in the U.S. or its neighbor in Iran. Even without formal recognition of Israel, Pakistan's strategic weight means its signals are watched closely in Tel Aviv, as any Pakistani shift toward Tehran could shift the regional balance of power, making the Islamabad bridge one of the few remaining pressure valves in a global theater that seems increasingly destined for direct confrontation. This delicate dance of mediation highlights a shift in modern statecraft where middle powers, rather than just superpowers, hold the keys to preventing a localized spark from becoming a global wildfire. The modern Middle East is no longer a collection of isolated disputes, but a unified, high-stakes theater of total competition, where the triumvirate of the United States, Israel, and Iran has pushed the region to its most precarious point since 1979. This script explores the current reality of 2026, where the shadow war has exploded into direct, state-on-state kinetic strikes, beginning with the joint U.S.-Israeli air campaign on the 28th of February 2026, aimed at neutralizing Iran's nuclear infrastructure and missile production. As Washington, under the second Trump administration, restores its maximum pressure campaign with renewed naval blockades of the Strait of Hormuz, and Israel continues its Ring of Fire strategy to decapitate the leadership of Hezbollah and Hamas, the entire global economy teeters on the edge of collapse. In this suffocating atmosphere of war, Pakistan has emerged as the essential geopolitical bridge, leveraging its 900-kilometer border with Iran and its major non-NATO ally status with the United States to serve as the primary host. For the Islamabad peace talks, Pakistan's role is defined by a desperate pragmatic neutrality, with nearly 20% of its population identifying as Shia and its military bound by a 2025 Mutual Strategic Defense Agreement with Saudi Arabia. Islamabad cannot afford to see Iran collapse into a failed state, nor can it survive the economic fallout of a total rupture with the West. The Pakistani leadership, represented by both its civilian government and its powerful military establishment, has engaged in relentless shuttle diplomacy, moving messages between Tehran's hardliners and the Trump administration to secure fragile, two-week cool-down periods to prevent a nuclear escalation. This ongoing crisis demonstrates that the road to peace in the Middle East no longer runs through Geneva or Vienna, but through the high-security corridors of Islamabad, where the survival of the Iranian state, the security of Israel, and the global interests of the United States are being negotiated in a race against the clock.